Athleticism. They're playing so well now, a nickname is sure to follow. They're going to have to name this whole unit soon.
Rolling to his left. And he will get this into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. Taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Packers answer back with a touchdown of their own to break our tie and take the lead here in the fourth.
Hey, that score deserves our respect, deserves our excitement. But I'm looking at the clock, and I'm thinking, there's a long way to go in this one.
Ideally, they would have liked to milk a little bit more time off. Now on the other sideline, you start to get the crew together and say, this is what we practiced a 2-minute drill for, right?
Yeah, you hope you've been in that situation before, and if you haven't, you just have the confidence, hey, let's go down there and get this thing done. But, boy, that's a big score right there to give them the advantage.
So after the made field goal, here's Carlson to send it away. And good coverage there on special teams as they'll get him down shy of the 20. So now Ritter and the Falcons down 21-14. A minute 14 to go. A fourth straight defeat looming on the horizon, barring a comeback here as they've got it with a first down. Ritter. That's caught by Pitts. Gosh, given the time in the short game, would he have been better off just dropping that?
Yeah, when you look at the clock, you think so. But it's hard to get a receiver to drop a football. They're trained to catch everything.
And Pitts is going to pick up a Falcons first down as they get this up to the 32. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in quarter number 4. Two timeouts still available in this final minute. It's 1st and 10 now. Ritter wants to throw it. All right, open, complete. And he will step out of bounds here inside the 30.
Now that is the 2-minute drill at its very best. Get the completion, get a big chunk of yardage, and then get out of bounds to save those timeouts. You cannot do it any better than that.
They'll come up 1st and 10 here. Now Ritter. This pass is caught by London. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. Here's Ritter. Oh, a heck of an effort there as he'll make the diving catch. And it's caught. It's a touchdown. So they rally here in the final minute, and they're an extra point away from tying this game.
And while it appears the heavy lifting was accomplished by scoring the touchdown, they're still down 1. That extra point is not a gimme.
Coup now for the point after. And no sweat, he puts it through, and we are tied here in the 4th. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And the touchdown and PAT mean we are tied here in the final minute of play. These fans on pins and needles. A Super Bowl berth on the line, tied in the 4th quarter as the kick is away. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. And Charles, obviously not much time left. I'm curious to see if there's enough for them to get into field goal range and try to win this thing.
And partner, you and I both know the save calls to kneel and just take it into overtime. But it's also very tough to pass up a chance to win it right now as well. But remember, if you do attempt that, it's got to be a big play downfield and still leave yourself enough time to get your field goal unit out there and kick for the win.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete. Another try, 2nd and 10 now. Off the play fake. Frost. He'll buy some time right. And he'll have a quick first down here as he gets out of bounds to stop the clock. That one checks all the boxes, doesn't it? You get the first down, check. Get out of bounds, stop the clock, check.
Well, how about one last check? Keep your quarterback from getting hit. That's a big check.
Yeah, check there as well. Good call. All 3 timeouts remain. How much that'll matter remains to be seen. It's 1st and 10. They go play action here on first down. Flushed out right. They'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds.
There he goes, and for good reason. Running with it has paid dividends earlier in this game and earlier on this drive. And until they prove they can stop him, I don't think he's going to be shy about continuing to run for first downs instead of airing it out.
Here's 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on first down. And he gets it down to the 32. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left.
Could this be the drive that ultimately wins the game? How about the initiative he just took there? Running with it after he couldn't find a throwing lane, and he drove them into range for a game-winning field goal with that play. What an opportunity they've been presented to come through with the win.
And now this game's going to come down to the right leg of their kicker. Falcons going to use their 3rd and final timeout. And as the 2 teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. So on is their kicker, and it's down to this. This for a trip to the Super Bowl. And he missed it. He missed it just wide of that left upright. It's no good. And a costly one there as this game remains tied here in the 4th.
Boy, that's a big-time letdown there. You work yourself in position to win the game, but the kick winds up no good. And now you've got to regroup as a team, get the energy back up, and get ready for overtime. And make sure you pump him up, too. He may be needed to try and win it again later.
And he'll let this one go deep for Chark. And this one is incomplete. And we have free football overtime. Here we go, my friend.
And the way this game played out, this is exactly how it should end, going to overtime, because neither one got an advantage today.
Well, 4 quarters couldn't settle things. It's going to take overtime to figure out who wins the George Halas Trophy and punches their ticket to the Super Bowl. And no return here to begin the overtime session. That'll be a touchback. Atlanta now coming out on the field. Well, CD, certainly doesn't get any more exciting than this. Overtime in the postseason. Of course, keep in mind things are different than the old way it was. In the playoffs now, both teams guaranteed a possession, so a touchdown here, if they get one, the ball game will not be over.
And partners, we both know many people have called for this change before, and they finally got it. After the Buffalo-Kansas City Classic in the 2022 playoffs, Patrick Mahomes and KC, they scored first. Game over. Josh Allen and Bills never touched the football, and people hated that. Now if the game reaches OT, every playoff team has a chance to fight to extend their season. So the plan has got to be, if you win the toss and you take the ball, reach the end zone and score, and put as much pressure on your opponent as possible to try and win a game in OT in the playoffs.
Robinson will try to pick it up. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. The temptation to go for it probably there. Always is, especially in overtime. Got to punt it, though.
I think you're right. I think that you absolutely have to punt it away and trust your defense, especially play a little field position here. But you're so right about the temptation. Another way to satisfy that, though, line up in punt formation and fake it. That's another way to get it done.
The punt team on now as Pinion sends this one away. And this one hits at the one, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. The Packers ready to take over offensively. They show run with 3 tight ends here on first down. Now a first throw here in overtime. Steps away. Got his man. That's Luke Musgrave. First down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14. Little OT scramble drill that time, Mr. Davis.
And partner, I can tell you from personal experience, nothing drives a defense crazier than having things covered and the quarterback takes off and picks up a first down or big yardage. Because whether you're in zone or man, it's easy to lose track of him because you don't always have someone assigned to him. And once he goes, now everybody's scrambling to try and tackle him.
Give him a couple on the scramble. It's second down.
His running ability has been an extra dimension of their game plan thus far. For once, though, he doesn't create any magic against the front that's prepared for him to try and take off.
Out to his left. That's to the tight end, Musgrave. And out of bounds on the other side of midfield at the 45. This is good for a first down. His second grab of this NFC Championship bout.
Good job there of getting his tight end involved because he lines up on the right side of the formation, just works his way across the field. I really like how they were in.
And now we've got a review here. All challenges in overtime, of course, initiated by the replay official here in the stadium.
Replay is under review.
Did he keep those feet in bounds? That's the question they've got to decide. And I got to say, watching it in real time, it was awfully close.
Yeah, it certainly looked like a heck of a catch because he didn't appear to bobble it, which could complicate things. But even with the benefit of replay, that's pretty tight.
Well, here's the call.
After review of the play, ruling on the field stays.
So the folks in New York just going to wind up confirming what the official saw as this play will stand as is. All they need is a field goal. Any kind of score here on this second drive would be a game winner. It's 1st and 10. Rolling to his right. And he is out of bounds inside the 35. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
These are running back numbers that he's accumulated right now. Received double-digit carries and has rewarded them by breaking a century mark in rushing, in addition to what he's done through the air. Definitely MVP caliber football we're witnessing.
And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. 107 yards rushing for him now in the ball game as he goes over the century mark with the AFC title on the line.
Well, that last run makes this a 100-yard night. I've loved the way he's hit the holes. He's been quick, he's been decisive, and he's been a whole lot of fun to watch.
And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Well, partner, recent conference championship games that have been needed to decide who goes to the Super Bowl. What do you got?
Well, if we go back to 2015, how about Green Bay at Seattle? Now, it looks like Green Bay's got this thing. But Russell Wilson to Jermaine Kearse, that gets it done. And then go back to 2010. We think Brett Favre with the Vikings has the destiny, but they're New Orleans. It's the Saints. And they get it done. And in overtime, go out to the Super Bowl. They won that one. They beat the Colts, correct?
A couple of the more memorable ones for sure. You know, Charles, just thinking about it, plenty of recent conference championship games have needed OT to decide who goes to the Super Bowl.
And we go back a little ways, can't we? Go back 2012. Giants in San Francisco. That was an overtime game. The Giants ended up going on to the Super Bowl. How about the one where the Giants went to Green Bay, Lambeau, and beat the magic of that stadium in that freezing, bitterly cold game and got it done there.
Yeah, it was 2008. It was absolutely freezing, and they went on to beat the Patriots in the Super Bowl that year. And he's going to score. It's a touchdown. No flags. And in an overtime thriller, they are moving on to the playoff.
No rest. They get to keep playing.
And they get to hoist the Hallis Trophy. Unbelievable victory. Moving on to the Super Bowl.
I only hope that these players understand exactly who is behind that trophy. George S. Halas, one of the creators of this great game of football of ours and creator of the NFL. What an amazing feeling and an amazing accomplishment.
And that'll close the books on the conference championship. For Charles Davis, myself, Brandon Gaudin, and our entire crew, we'll talk to you in 2 weeks from